I recently sat down and watched the much maligned Disney film Artemis Fowl and thought that I would share my review with all of you. Now, as many of you know, the film was originally scheduled for a theatrical release on August 9th of 2019 by Walt Disney Studios, but on May 7th of that year, the film was pushed back to May 29th of 2020. On April 3rd of 2020, Disney decided to cancel the film's theatrical release due to movie theater closures because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and instead it was released digitally on Disney Plus on June 12th of 2020. Let's start by talking about the plot for just a second. Directed by Kenneth Branagh, based on the books by Eoin Colfer, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. Artemis Fowl details the adventures of Artemis Fowl II, a 12-year-old Irish prodigy who teams up with his faithful servant, a dwarf, and a fairy in order to rescue his father, Artemis Fowl Sr., who has been kidnapped by another fairy looking to reclaim an item that the Fowl family has stolen. Now, let's take a minute to talk about the cast, and it is a really good one. It stars Ferdita Shaw as Artemis Fowl II, Laura McDonald as Holly Short, Josh Gad as Mulch Diggums, Nonso Enazi as Domovi Dom Butler, Tamara Smart as his niece Juliet Butler, Colin Farrell as Artemis Fowl I, and Dame Judi Dench as Commander Julius Root. Let's get to some of the positive things about the film. I thought the special effects were really good. The visuals of Haven City, where the elves live, are quite beautiful, and to be honest, they aren't too far off from what we got from Avatar and the world that James Cameron created for us on Pandora. They're not quite as good. They're a little darker in tone than I would have liked, but they were certainly high quality, but the dark tone makes sense considering they live underground. The sword and shield fantasy stories have never really been my thing, but I love the combination of medieval fantasy characters with futuristic tech. The elves have this Iron Man-like heads-up display, tech that can stop time, and the ability to wipe memories like the Men in Black. That was kind of an interesting combination of the two things. But as much as I liked the film, however, there were a few negatives. The dialogue wasn't great. There were some good spots, but it didn't really blow me away. I did love the use of the old Irish stories to accentuate the story of the film. That was where the little bit of depth in the movie came from. Also, in the interest of full disclosure, I didn't read the books. I went into this movie with no knowledge of the story, but I've read that many of the story elements vary greatly from the book, and when that happens, it tends to piss a lot of fans off. This is very much the case with this movie, so if you're one of those people, then I understand your frustration. It happens quite often with the books adapted to the big screen, but it should be noted that the author of the books, Eoin Colfer, has stated that he does support the changes from the source material in the film. There were some interesting facts about the film that I came across when I was doing some research. Colin Farrell's involvement in the film wasn't even announced until March of 2020, nearly a year and a half after the teaser trailer was released, and 3 years after principal filming wrapped. Not only that, but he filmed all of his scenes in 3 days. Also, the film is predominantly based on the first novel, Artemis Fowl, where he encounters the fairies for the first time, but incorporates elements from the second novel, The Arctic Incident, in which Artemis launches a rescue mission to save his kidnapped father. Artemis Fowl was filmed partially on location on Northern Ireland's north coast for 2 weeks during the summer of 2018. Filming took place at places like White Rocks Beach, Portrush, and Dunluch Castle, which those are some of the most beautiful locations in Ireland. The author, Eoin Colfer, has also written a book for Marvel. It's a young adult story called Iron Man the Gauntlet, which has actually got some very good reviews. Well, that's my review of the much-maligned Artemis Fowl. Don't forget to go down in the comments below and let me know what you think of the movie. And if you want to see more of our film and TV reviews, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the thumbs up. And until next time, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may a friend always be near. Theatrical release due to the movie theater closers. Damn it. I gotta get better at this.